Okay, so now we're going to take our stem that we forged now that it's cooled. We're going to put it in the vise. And we're going to tighten the vise down. We're going to take our bell body. We're going to set it down on there. And then we're going to take what we call a monkey tool. Which is right here. It's got a hole in the center of it, and we're going to take it and we're going to drive down just to make sure that that seat's good. Okay. Now it's awkward for me to try to get down in there with a hammer. Okay. So the first few blows I'll do with a hammer, and then I'll probably get in there with this ball punch. But the first few blows, now the other thing you'll notice is I'm doing this cold. 1/4 inch below you can do cold. You don't have to heat it up. And all I'm doing is I'm peening that over just like you do a rivet. And there it is. Now we bent our stem as we were doing it, but that's no big deal. We can straighten that back out. But that is how we do a rivet. How we had the rivet on there. There it is. Okay, now at this point, I would normally I would take that and I would take it over to the bench and I'd take an oxyacetylene torch and I'd heat these to bring them inward. But since not everybody has an oxyacetylene torch, and I'm assuming if you're going to do this, you've got a forge, then we're going to heat this up in the forge, and we're going to do it with the forge. There's a ball that we're going to put inside of the bell. We're going to set it right there so it's handy. We're going to bring this out. We're going to tap it. Top. We don't want them to touch. We want them to be close. Okay. Now, this is off. Go. We're going to heat that up. Now we drop the ball in. We gently tap that. Now we got to get our hammer around here, or a screwdriver, I mean. We have to start tweaking. piece of wood to do the same thing. We're just going to kind of clean this up and round this up a little bit. So far, but if you'll notice, the holes aren't exactly round. They're kind of rough looking. We got a couple places that we need to just kind of clean up and straighten up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out a die grinder. If you don't have a die grinder, you can do it with a hand file. I do it with a die grinder, it's quicker. And I'm going to clean these holes up. So that's what we're going to do now. Is we're going to take a die grinder and we're going to clean up these holes. I'm old and I'm fat. Sometimes I like to sit down while I work. Might as well be comfortable. See how nice and round that makes that hole? And the ball bearing won't fit through the hole. Now when I do this, I don't necessarily strive to have them all the same size. It would be nice if they were. My main thing is just to get rid of that shamble of a hole there and make it round. Okay. That one's round too. That was just 3 round and 1 more to go. The good part is the compressor hasn't kicked on yet. But it will. It'll get real noisy when the compressor kicks on. we've cleaned it up. I used the big die grinder first to make the holes round. And I just took this little one. And a Dremel will do the same thing. Now, or a hand file, we're going to clean it up. Let me do this real quick in the forge. I'm going to show you how I do that. And this is a tool I'm going to use. It's a pair of pliers with a piece of pipe wrapped on it. And I grab it about right there and I just roll it down that while it's hot so that I can, then it makes my ring. Okay? So let's go back over here and let's do that. Grab that right there. Pull that around. That gives us a rough shape. That up, bring that around just a little bit more, bring a little curlicue around, just like that. There we are. So the next step is cleaning it up and getting it ready to put the brass on it. You can do this with a hand wire brush. You can do it with sandpaper, emery cloth. I use a knotted wire wheel, preferably with a stringer bead on it, but these cut brushes work too. I like the knotted ones. If you get the ones that are just stranded, the strands fly everywhere. You'll be picking them out of your clothes and your skin. It's very important that you wear safety glasses while you're using this cut brush. There it is, cleaned up. Now we're going to put the gold collar on. Okay, at demonstrations and stuff, you'll see guys that'll put a brass finish on that with a brass brush. Okay. That's all well and good. But when you're making 30 or 40 at a time, I learned real quick that the brass brush wasn't the best way to do it. Not the hand brass brush anyway. So what I do, I buy these from either McMaster-Carr or Granger. They're actual brass wire wheels. Now the ones that you get at Harbor Freight and some of the places, most normally are brass coated. They will do you no good, because once you get past the brass coating, you get to the steel, and the steel will knock the brass coating right back off of it. So they have to be a true brass wire brush. Now, I can heat that in the forge to just a dull. You buy the black heat's all you want. You don't want it real hot. But since we're sitting here and I've got the torch right here, for this part I'm going to go ahead and just use the torch. want to heat that up a little bit. Just to let it start going blue. Not much farther than that. That's all I really want. Now we take our wire brush. There it is. Get that little bit of water. Oh yeah. There we go. Still a little more. And there's our bell.